I'm joined by security expert Will Geddes. Is the government doing enough now that the terror level has gone up, terror threat level, I should say, has gone up for the first time in 3 years?
Well, I think the fact that they've actually raised the threat level could be indicative of the fact that they realise there is a prevalent threat and an emerging threat, particularly from IS, that they have to take this situation very seriously. And when we look at these control orders that have now expired, this leaves a gaping hole and potential vulnerability to us in the United Kingdom.
They're very well organised, IS, aren't they, and have a lot of money to use too.
They're quite a different beast to, say, Al-Qaeda. This is a highly mobilised, well-resourced, well-trained combatant. These individuals, the way they've operated in Iraq is just evident of the skills sets that they have at their avail. And this is a very serious threat. This is not a threat that just wants to disrupt and cause chaos. This is a group that is trying to actually establish caliphates in various parts of the world.
We've been here before as a country at this terror threat level. How concerned should people be?
Well, I think we need to be concerned to a degree. I mean, we're pretty robust here in the United Kingdom. We've dealt with terrorism for many decades, and we've had threats on these shores before. Where these threat levels really work effectively is just reminding the general public that they play a very important role in reporting any suspicious activity, and these threat levels will only work well if they fluctuate from time to time.
Well, who decides the threat level, and does it have anything to do with the fact that the NATO summit is happening in South Wales next week?
Well, it will potentially have something to do with the NATO summit. Certainly, you have the convergence of all the top military brass from the NATO countries in one location, and that in itself is a massive terrorist potential risk. But in the threat levels, these are actually created impartially and independently from the political governments. So it is not something that is driven by the political parties. This is something which is drawn together from intelligence from MI5, GCHQ and MI6.
It's worth pointing out as well, the threat is severe across the UK. That includes Northern Ireland, but in Northern Ireland it's for different reasons, still because of dissidents there.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people will forget that the Irish dissident threat is still on an equal playing field in many respects as Al-Qaeda is, and now IS. Now, bearing in mind the NATO summit is in Wales, it's a very, very short trip, potentially, from Ireland over to there, and that threat needs to be considered within the equation.